Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7 reasons you struggle with eating healthy and what to do instead. We are on week 5. We are on tip number 4. So far, we have covered the stress response and how to move ourselves out of that stress response on our own terms. We've talked about deprivation and hunger, and how in that state we are unable to make healthy decisions in the first place. So we need to start eating when we're hungry, eating slowly and focused, and not being distracted in any way when we eat. We've covered low energy and fatigue, and why removing foods is not the best solution to helping you to find your energy, and how to find your energy instead by connecting to your brain and emptying your brain, giving it some space, connecting to the earth with your bare feet, getting energy and sun from the earth, and being human, moving your body in natural ways, in playful ways, so that you're not, at the gym trudging on the treadmill or lifting weights and reps and trying to achieve muscle burnout, and how we can actually give ourselves more energy when we don't stress our bodies so much in the exercise department. And also, your homework last week was to re-ground yourself in purpose and passion, because that will give you more energy than you ever thought possible. And a lot of us have lost touch with that purpose and that passion. We're trudging through life with way too much stress or boredom or emotional baggage, and we want to get in there, understand that, yes, and realize that we do have the ability to work through it, but that finding that passion and that purpose, something that gives us momentum and anticipation for the next day, will give us way more energy. And then from a place of energy, we can make healthy food decisions. So we've covered all of that so far. Whew, what a recap. And now, like I said, we're on to tip number 4. And this one has everything to do with willpower. We psych ourselves out of eating healthy, I think, because a lot of times we get overwhelmed with thinking that we have to have this amazing superpower of willpower for the rest of our lives, and we just don't want to set ourselves up for failure. And we know that our willpower is not going to last us through the weekend, let alone the summer or the decade. And so it's really hard to think of all this willpower that we have to muster in order to eat healthy. And it's really discouraging, I think, and disheartening for most of us. And so I want to flip the switch. I want on willpower, and I want to let you know that willpower is actually something that is quite temporary, scientifically speaking. It's not something that we have control over long term, because guess what? All of our hormones are talking. We have neurotransmitters that are talking. We have our microbiome and all the bacteria in our gut that are communicating. And those things take precedence and priority over your willpower. I will tell you that. So, if your blood sugar is imbalanced, if you're in a state of fatigue or energy deprivation, if you are stressed to the max, then your willpower is not going to be able to even come close to the messages being sent within your body. So you can't rely on willpower long term anyhow. So just forget about it, all right? I give you permission. Don't use your willpower. Don't rely on it at all. But what we are going to do is we're going to rely on a little bit of discipline. And I want you to rely on short-term discipline, not long-term discipline, because I'll tell you something, being on both sides of the fence here, and right now being on the side of the fence where I totally love to eat healthy foods and feed my body well, discipline doesn't have to last forever, okay? Discipline can be a short-term strategy for getting yourself onto the healthy bandwagon, and I'll explain. Let's say that you want to start eating, protein shakes in the morning. I should have thought of an example before I started the video. Protein shakes in the morning for breakfast, right? Instead of donuts. Let's say you love your donut on the way to work every day. You stop by Winchell's or Krispy Kreme or wherever you go. All right, we want to change that behavior because you know, and we all know that eating donuts every morning is like not good for your health. And it's not good for your vision. You're not in line with yourself, right? And when you're not in line with your vision, you're feeling bad, you're feeling guilty, you're feeling disappointed, you're upset with yourself, and that just causes more stress. So we want to stay away from that, and we want to stay in line with our vision, okay? And it does take practice. Every video I say it takes practice and patience, all right? This is not going to be like this quick fix where all of a sudden everything is easy, all right? So we're going to practice. But instead of being disciplined to avoid the donuts, which is the negative because we're avoiding the donuts, I want you to be disciplined in having the shake first. I don't want you to tell yourself that you can't have donuts ever and they're off limits and donuts are terrible. Don't do that to yourself, hon, because you're just going to end up feeling terrible. So instead, be disciplined in the short term. You're going to make yourself an awesome protein shake. You're going to put some coconut milk in there for healthy fat, maybe an avocado. You're going to use maybe some unsweetened almond milk. If you're lactose intolerant, obviously, you can look at if you're using milk, you can use like full fat milk to give you that satiation. An awesome protein powder, some fiber, maybe some spinach in there, some frozen blueberries or strawberries, maybe a frozen banana, some chia seeds would be really good, or hemp hearts. I don't want to be overwhelming you right now with ideas. Please start simple. Simple. But you can work yourself up to like a super dense, nutrient dense protein shake in the morning over time. Anyhow, be disciplined in the short term to add the protein shake in. I almost want to promise you, I can't promise here and I can't guarantee because everybody is different, but I almost guarantee that if you have discipline in the short term to have that protein shake first, you're going to drive right by that Krispy Kreme. You won't need the donut. You know why? Because your body has absorbed so many good nutrient-dense ingredients that it's not hungry or craving anything anymore. So you don't need the donut. It's a physiological response. It's not a willpower thing. You're not going to feel like eating the donut, all right? So I want you to focus over this next week on crowding out your cravings, crowding out your instant gratification decisions with positive things that you can add in first. So you can do this with other examples as well. You can think of your own, and please write about them in your journal. But instead of cutting things out and using willpower to deprive yourself, I want you to use your short-term reserve of discipline to add things in. And I know I've said this quite a few times now, maybe in a couple different ways, but it is so important to focus on the positive, focus on what you can have, focus on what you're doing for your health, and then whatever happens next, happens next. Okay, seriously, then let it go. Whatever happens next, happens next. Okay, so let me make sure that I finished. I want to get it all in there. Okay, good. We're done with that tip. Just make sure to journal about it so that it like really gets in there and solidifies. And I want you to practice adding things in this week, all right? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Oh, comment below if you want to. Email me at mybodycanbreathe with an E on the end.com, and my name is Jenny. Be healthy this week, my friend. Talk to you soon. Bye.